Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Danny's Dishes, and today I wanted to do something very simple but a lot of you have reached out to me on, and that is risotto. We'll be doing risotto today with a bit of sweet potato, horse chestnut mushrooms, red onion, and the star of the dish will be this lovely fresh Seabass that we got from Cathal Sexton in Ennis. I do mean it when I say he is the best fishman and the best guy to get your fish off in Ennis. So the main really things you need for risotto is this bit of butter for your sea bass and for your risotto, some lovely wine. These wines are handiest because you don't go opening wine for the dinner, but I would always say if you wanted a bit of wine, especially for risotto, go with the litre bottle. It gives you an excuse to have something in the evening. And some lemon, and we'll be basically zesting this lemon and using the lemon juice inside in a risotto. Now, I went to the effort of making a fish or a veg stock today. Just for risotto, you need veg stock. However, if you don't have time to make a veg stock, the quickest and easiest way to make it, especially with you working during the week, is come home, put the kettle on, fill up about 1.5 pints to nearly a litre and drop one veg stock cube in and whisk it about. And you will have a veg stock for your risotto. So the first thing we must do is we must dice this onion. So like always, nice clean strikes of any bits that you don't need. Then you're just going straight down again, and in we go. Now the bits of the onion that you don't want to keep is the butt of the onion here. So that butt of the onion can go inside into the compost bin. Doesn't have to be tiny diced, but the smaller you dice your onion for this, the better. And then our sweet potato. So for a sweet potato, we don't want it too big, but we don't want it too small either, because it's going to cook in the pan. The idea of this, we're only going to be using 2 pans today. One for the stock, or one for the risotto, and one for cooking the sea bass. Our red herbs go with this: thyme, dill. There, that's really the only ones you can use. Thyme and dill. I suppose parsley, but thyme and dill are the best suited for this. We'll just keep dicing away our sweet potato there. And our mushrooms. So our mushrooms, straight down like that again. And 1, 2, 3. Just want pieces about high. Great flavour, and you can leave your mushrooms a bit bigger because they'll go in with our onions. So we'll be separating them up. Our sweet potato will be going into one container, and our sweet potato, our mushrooms and our onions and our garlic and our ginger will be going into one pot, starting off our risotto. Once we can hit the risotto with a base of flavours. So that's why the onion and the garlic and the ginger is all very important at the start. So with all the sweet potato now diced, we're going to move on to scallions for a bit of colour and the taste. These will be added to at this end. I'm going to try to keep these as small as we can. Always keeping the fingers tucked in behind the knuckle, working your way down your scallion. A nice firm grip of the bunch. If you let those fingers out from behind that knuckle, you'll be end up getting a band-aid. No. Just show you that there. Nice kind of finely sliced scallions for finishing off the risotto. Now guys, you've all the veg prepped, so that's the hardest job out of the way. So the most important thing now is for your sea bass. So the best way to do a bit of sea bass is by scoring the skin. So scoring of the skin is just making a light kind of mark across the top of your sea bass fillet. The reason you do that, it will help your sea bass get better flavour throughout, and it's a little presentation thing as well. And it's sea bass is a minute fish, so it's a minute on one side of both sides, and your sea bass fillet will be cooked. So you really want that salt and the pepper to really get into that skin to make it nice and crispy. So a quick wash of the hands and we'll be able to season the fish. Okay, so guys, we're over here at the stove. So key to a nice risotto is get as big a pan as you can get with as big a surface area as you can get, so the risotto will have a good chance to cook off nice and evenly. You want to make that pan nice and hot. A little bit of oil. Once that gets hot, then we have mushrooms, lemon, ginger and red onion here cut. That's the first thing that's going to hit the pot. Then we have our risotto rice that's going to hit the pot, or our sweet potato that's going to hit the pot, and then our risotto rice. Get all that out. Spatula here. Get it out. Leaving that to cook away. So you want your onions to go nice and brown and caramelized. You want your mushrooms to get a good searing heat on them, and the lemon, the ginger, the garlic, all that you just want to cook off to let them come through in your risotto. The reason I'm using this spatula is because it's a non-stick pan. So the non-stick pan, you never use metal. Now there is spatulas that are made for heat. Just have to be careful. This is a pastry one. Can't seem to be able to find my heat resistant one. Just letting them cook off. So your do's and don'ts for a risotto is don't season your base too early, because you don't know how strong your stock is going to be and how it's going to work with the rice. Usually I always say about seasoning early is key, but for this you're going to let your onions, your garlic, your ginger do a lot of the heavy lifting. And then your sweet potatoes, so they're getting brown now, so in will go with a sweet potato. Another great way of getting veg into your diet is through the risotto. So the reason why you wouldn't season this as early as you would soups and stuff like that is really your rice can react differently to your stock, and very importantly your wine. So you really don't want to put in all this work of getting your veg ready and getting everything ready and having it all spoiled at the end because you're seasoned too early. So all we're going to let do here really is the heat, and the garlic and the ginger and the onion are going to do a lot of heavy lifting, because the onion is going to caramelize, going to bring a lovely sweet flavour. The mushrooms are lovely chestnut mushrooms, they're going to add a lot to this, And the sweet potato, they're going to need seasoning, but the stock is going to add so much flavour to them. So you might as well wait until you are at the end of your risotto. Now there's obviously great ways to add to this as well, like if you cream or anything like that, that's a great way to add to it. But for now, just leave the ingredients go as they are and you will still get a great risotto at the end of the day. The fish we'll be doing at the very last minute because it's sea bass and it doesn't take that long. So the sea bass is just waiting to get the sauce. So the risotto is going to take up a lot of our concentration here. Now, if you are nervous about kind of keeping everything right in time, you can always cut up your onions, cut up your sweet potato, stick them into the oven with salt and pepper and cook the risotto on the pan on its own separately, but this will give you a much better blending of flavours with everything. Good tosses there now, and sure we'll just let the sweet potato cook away. So guys, the sweet potato is cooking away nicely here. We got a nice colour on it. We've fine-nomated for a minute with the risotto rice. We just want that sweet potato to get a bit more colour. Make sure there's a bit more even spread. You can see how much the veg in this has shrunk. Now the usual cooking time for risotto can be from 12 minutes, 15 minutes to 20 minutes, all depending on heat variations and how much space you have in your pan and how often you stir it. There's still probably 5 more minutes left in this rice. And the only way you ever really know your rice is cooked how you like it is by actually tasting the rice every so often. Now we're on to the last leg of it. The wine has been entered, stock is cooking off. Now you can kind of decide to season it with some pepper and some salt. Before this, you're opening up a bag of issues for yourself. Here with some pepper. And hit it up with some salt. Cheese is a great way of seasoning it as well. But you don't want to be too indulgent in the middle of the week, I suppose. Now you can make risotto as wet as you want it or as dry as you want it. Don't have it too dry. Really just when it comes to serving it, you need to have a bit of moisture in it. But when you're at home, if you like a dry risotto, you can have a dry risotto. If you want a wet risotto, you can have a wet risotto. Just don't have it like a risotto soup, otherwise you don't really get the enjoyment out of it. Really let that cook off, and you can see how big the rice has actually became over the cooking process. Okay, so guys, you can see now very little stock left in that there now. Before, I think there's one last bit left in this. And we'll be just taking out the rice and tasting it. We just need this last bit stock. New with our spring onions. Now, like I said, this is kind of handy because it's a one-pot wonder kind of almost. You know, this is a one-pot wonder almost. You can see the lovely colour the spring onion adds to the risotto now. So for video purposes, we'll be switching the risotto over. That's a bit back grating. Bring this on for the Seabass. Bring this on a lower heat. The lower heat now is just going to finish off our risotto. We'll let our Seabass pan get nice and warm. In our pot get nice and warm. Just going to give our risotto a lovely gentle stir there. Then we go with our oil. Let the oil go around in the pot, in the pan. The pan is nearly hot enough. And our risotto is cooking away in the background. Nice, easy, nothing too bad. And our taste the risotto just to make sure that yeah, we're almost there with that. Yeah, ooh, our Seabass. Nice. Butter goes in our Seabass. Butter goes in our risotto. The last bit of them done into the risotto is the butter. A little bit sugar. Again. Once the pan frying the Seabass, take the Seabass off the heat. Give her a little bit inside in the pan. And that. Put it inside in the pan. Tap the iron around it. And that have a bit of a stir. Butter. We'll knock the heat off, let the Seabass cook away. Really with it. That's quite a bit of the Seabass. There's nothing that can't be worked with. We can't do it. Put that on. There we go. Keep back on. We're going to knock the heat off now on the risotto. And we'll turn this into the Seabass. This one side. These will cook away. And the last 2 fillets of Seabass. Let your pan do the work. Risotto is ready. That's a really nice risotto. Finish the Seabass then again. A little bit more butter. Take away. And that is how simple it can be. And that's just leave the Seabass to finish. So guys, a nice, simple, quick, easy Seabass and a nice sweet potato risotto. Taste. Really nice, really quick, really simple. Any questions, leave them below, and sure, if you like what you see, please like, share, comment and subscribe. And bon appetit. Enjoy guys.